Welcome to Accelerated Engineering. My name is John, and this is a function showcase for my new combine show function. The problem that I was trying to solve was from a series of Quora questions on combinatorics that say, how can I show all of the number of combinations or permutations, but in this case combinations of however many things that I've input. So this is my attempt to solve that problem. Now I've set this up so that there's an input n and r, and this solves NCR. And for however many things we've got, if I've got 4 things, I pick 3. And the way to think about this is like being dealt a hand from a deck of cards. It doesn't really matter what order you're dealt the cards in, because you can rearrange your hand however you want. It just matters what cards you're actually holding. This is the same problem that it solves. So there are a lot fewer options than, say, a permutation or a combination with repeats. And I think that NCR is actually the most restrictive of the 4 typical combinatorics equations, but that's beyond the scope of this video. Orange is my output. Blue is just some text descriptions. Anything in green is an input to the function, and yellow is my error checking. And I'll show you some fun errors because this function is not perfect. The lambda text for this is that wall of text along with the inputs near the bottom, and you can just see it's a let function inside of a lambda so that I can get all the values that I want. And I'll walk through each step to show how this works. The first thing the function does is generates an array of values. This is similar to most of the other combinatorics problems as well. It just generates values and spits them out into an array so that we can kind of parse through them in a sane or sensible way. If you were counting this, looks like n is equal to 4 right now. Let's just change that to 2 so that it's really straightforward. It's just a count up function in the base of whatever n is. 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Back up to 4. The next thing that it does is similar to the permutation problems. This function goes by row and just counts the number of unique values. And what this allows is that if this value is equal to the number of values that I'm pulling, so if my count of unique values is equal to r, then this is a valid permutation. It's one of the values that I might be interested in, or might be interested in later, because I know that there are no repeats. For example, 0, 0 is a repeated value. There's only one unique value in that row. It's too few. 0, 1 has 2 unique values. 2 is equal to the number of things I'm pulling. So this is a value that I might be interested in. The next item is to generate a unique score. And we'll see that in order to generate scores, there is a power function. There's an exponential in there in order to generate a wide enough spread of scores to avoid having duplicates in a relatively small space. And we'll see that that ends up being the weakness of this function in a little bit. Unique score just goes through all the scores and pulls out the unique ones. And this is also indicated that it's going to filter out the scores based on the permutations. What we can see here is that it takes the unique values in the score array, but first it filters the score array so that it only includes values where the permutation check also passed or had the right number of things. So it narrows out all of the values with repeats and then takes only the ones with the unique score after that. Unique index pulls the index of all of those unique scores, and then hold on to that thought. There's a bit of a shift here. Mapped array just takes all of the values in the value array and maps them to those letters that I originally had set out. If I said instead I wanted to use the number 1 and B, can see it automatically updates, and my mapped array also updates appropriately. Just change that back. Okay. And then options takes my mapped array and squishes it all together. My final output takes all of the unique indices from unique index and pulls the correct values out of my options column. Now, and that's it. That's my final output. 6 options, as is shown over here. 6 options. And then I've taken that and wrapped it all into a nice, neat function called combine show, which accepts the inputs of the number n, r, and then some sort of a mapped array. If that mapped array is not long enough, did I build an error handler for this? Let's see. Oh, no, I didn't. Yes, I did. Sorry, I built an error handler into the map array function so that it just reverts to using the values 0 through however many you need. Put that back to letters. There we go. Oops. There we go. So yeah, I guess you can kind of do some repeats based on putting repeat values in, but either way, that's that. Now, there is a weakness to this function. We start using larger values. You can see that my check function has already broken with 10 values and picking 3, and the output has too many things in it. And the reason that that is over here in score array with Excel's representation. See, I have numbers here up to 1 times 10 to the 16, but Excel only holds, I think, 15 digits of actual values. So I have here 1 e to the 18, and then here's another one, and Excel isn't sure what to do with it. It starts throwing errors based on those exceptionally large values, or at least that's what I think is going on. So I find that 9, I think I can get up to 9. Oh, no, there we go. Look at that. For 9 pick 8, Excel ran out of resources, so we're not going to see a result for that. Like I said, this is a little bit of a crunchy function. I could definitely use some streamlining. Again, I need a computer science major who can tell me how to do this better and faster. To get this function with its limits into your own Excel spreadsheet, there is a link in the description below that will take you to a Google Drive folder with an Excel spreadsheet in it that contains this function, or the function definition. Copy a sheet from that spreadsheet into your own spreadsheet, and the function will follow with it. And then you will have a function available to show all of the possible combinations without repeats. And that concludes today's video. So be sure to like, especially if you take the function and use it for yourself. Make sure to drop a like for me or a comment and tell me that you did that. It's just that I know if people are actually using these. And subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thanks for watching. Happy excelling.